right, good afternoon. I'm Moira Bailey, and I would like to call the 2024 Unity North Spiritual Center to order.
2025.
2025, sorry. I don't know what year I'm in. Kathy, do you want to pray us in?
Sure. Let's just take a moment. Loving Spirit, we give thanks for this meeting today, for this opportunity to share this past year with everyone. And we just open our minds and hearts into a consciousness of oneness and give thanks that we are divinely guided through this meeting. We just pray for perfect divine order and for peace and harmony and love. And we're grateful in advance for a great meeting. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you. And I would like to call up Jennifer and Rhonda to discuss a land acknowledgement.
Got to turn it on.
What mic number is that? Is it on?
On.
We need the slide. There it is.
This is a land acknowledgement. This is a land acknowledgement that Unity North Spiritual Center is on traditional lands of the Wapakute. The Wapakute are one of the 4 bands of the Dakota people. Wapakute literally translates as shooters from the leaves, and Rhonda will explain more about land acknowledgement.
One of my favorite things to do when I'm at Unity Village is to take my socks and shoes off and get my feet in the dirt around Silent Unity. People have been praying on that dirt for over 130 years, and you can feel it. So I want us to really think about what it means that there were people living here before we arrived, and they had lives, they had children, they had food that was prepared, they had all of these things that happened, and we need to remember the importance of story. The lives that they had before things were taken away from them mattered, and we need to remember that when we put our feet in the dirt. So we not only read a land acknowledgement to be courteous to the people who were here before us, but to remember and to remind ourselves of the importance of story and that people had lives here before we got here. So.
All right, I will read our ground rules and then ask if you agree. Confidentiality, speak from the heart, speak the truth, hold each other with compassion, refrain from cross-talking or interrupting. If you agree to uphold these ground rules, please raise your hand. All right, next slide.
Reminder. I'll remember.
Oh, yeah. And only members can vote at this meeting. Those of you that don't know our Board of Trustees, I'll introduce you guys. We have Reverend Kathy, myself, Moira Bailey as President, Aaron Casper Frett as our Vice President, Christine Grinzel as our Secretary, Cindy Huberty as our Treasurer, and both Jennifer Flynn and Bill Roloff as trustees. Next slide. And if I can have Bill come up and read our minutes from 2024. Should we talk this or do you want?
Yes.
Everything. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Hold it up. Use the podium. Give me that mic.
Oh,
Use
this,
that, yeah.
just use this, okay. Good afternoon. The Unity Annual Meeting Minutes. Meeting was called to order by Board President Moira Bailey. Board members' introduction and in attendance, Reverend Kathy, Moira Bailey, Christine Grinzel, Cindy Huberty, Jennifer Flynn, myself, and Aaron Casper Frett. Additional attendees, 2025 congregants, as well as our tech team, Tracy Roloff, Chris Italiano, and Martha Burkhart. Reverend Kathy opened the meeting with prayer. Moira reviewed the ground rules. Rhonda Italiano approved. Sue Benbenek second. The motion was carried. Aaron Casper Frett read the minutes from the 2023 annual meeting. Board President report on the 2023 fundraisers by Moira Bailey. Greg Tamberlin concert, $580. The plant sale was $659. Baker Square was $158.32. Special fund drive was $13,093.15. Holly Jolly auction was $1,958. Ministers report submitted. Contents are as follows. Expansion team accomplishments, adult education coordinator, list of classes being offered, usher coordinator, men's group, Sunday snack, community events, website, upcoming events, newsletter, musicians, graphic design flyers, staff, administrative assistant, outreach, adult education, Sunday producers, classes, worship assistants, community events, staff, musicians, and outreach. Reverend Kathy's report closed with community affirmation. Youth ministry report, Kathleen Bailey. Presently, we have 3 Uniteens, 13 Youth Enlightened Spirits, YES, and 3 nursery children. Outreach report from Kathleen Bailey. Family Table has served 700 meals through our drive-through with an average of 9 volunteers. Family Promise, our hospitality rotation, serves 1 to 5 families with cleaning, snack, and laundry supplies, also gift cards for gas and food. Kathleen attended a book study to better understand our own trauma and how it affects understanding creating healing communities. Hands of Kindness served our community and greater community with 150 hours of support, along with gas and food gift cards. Adopt a Family hosted 2 families with Christmas gifts. Financial report, Cindy Huberty submitted. This is our first year after COVID without government support. Our community is smaller but holds the same expenses as before. At this time, we need more consistent fundraising to not dip into savings to maintain expenses. A formula was shared that if 30 people were given just $5 to $10 more monthly, we could make our finances work. We have 39 local members and 7 out of state. The snowplow balance due is $3,000. Our special fund was accomplished with the help of 40 people contributing. We have 8 years left on our mortgage. Board elections, there are no new board members this year. Board members nominating team, the 2-member team are Darlinda Alexander and Martha Burkhart. Vote by acclamation that these 2 remain the nominating team. Voting was unanimous. The 2 members stand. Unity Worldwide Ministry and Unity Village Video, Jim Blake, CEO. The board's 4 objectives: create prosperity awareness, increase social media and marketing, prayer and healing, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Community strategy ideas, prosperity series, understanding that Prosperity is a spiritual tenet. Intentional prayer. Educate our community on supporting our social media platforms. Determine what platforms would be best used. Instagram, TikTok, etc. Bring the prayer box back. DEI speakers. Moira Bailey adjourned the meeting. Reverend Kathy closed the meeting with prayer.
Aaron has equipment.
Yes, Aaron.
Clarify, did you say 13,
Yes.
YES, Unity, and, well, you, children in the whole program throughout the year.
Yeah.
Can I get a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved.
Rhonda. Can I get a second? Wendy Erickson. All in favor? All right, motion is carried. And Kathy.
All right. Okay, Tracy.
No, sorry,
What are we doing?
me.
You.
I go first. Hold on. 1 minute, please. Okay, so we had an amazing plant sale with the help of Christine and Jennifer. Slide. We had an amazing plant sale with Christine and Jennifer's help, and for that, we raised $985.27.
We're still waiting for the slide. And then, there you go.
There we go. Thank you. With our party program, how many parties do we have? 12? 11?
I don't know. 14.
14 parties, and we raised $3,830. And yes, and some of those parties included a group experience, many outdoor gatherings, a game day, an amazing acoustic weave, a musical tapestry with our singers Claire, Judy, and Braden. And then we ended the year off with Kathy and Becky's class, Egypt and the Afterlife. Fun was had by all, and with many comments and feedback, we're going to be doing it again this spring. Next slide. With our Shine Bright holiday auction, we had 111 donations, 220 bids, and we raised $3,900. You only have the next one.
$3,098.
There we, $3,098. Next slide. All right. Just a little bit of our expansion team and who serves on it. Reverend Kathy, Rhonda Italiano, Chris Italiano, myself, Moira Bailey, Kathleen Bailey, Aaron Casper Frett, Christine Grinzel, Howard Grinzel, Jennifer Flynn, and Bill and Tracy Roloff. And just some basic intentions during this expansion team we have is growing Unity North, increasing our attendance, seeing with new eyes, brainstorming ideas, beautifying our facility, marketing our ministry, spreading the word, expanding our consciousness, building our youth and family ministry, facilitating friendliness, welcoming new team members, and promoting Unity teachings. And as always, if you're ever interested in joining, just let myself or Kathy know. And now I'd like to call Kathy to do her report.
Thank you, Moira. Good afternoon. So I'm grateful to be here with all of you. I'll continue where Moira left off with the expansion team. Next slide. With the accomplishments this year, we've had a number through the last few years, but this year was added signage inside the building, including offices, social hall, restrooms. We updated the parking lot signs, the fire lane and accessible parking space. We updated the lending library, updated organized shelves, added table and chairs for ambiance, added storage shelving for family table and organized storage room. We updated the Uniteens and YOU rooms, painted the chalkboard wall and back wall. We cleaned up the entryways by trimming the back arborvitae at both entrances. We reached out to the management company for the townhomes behind us to develop a plan to remove suspect trees between our properties. This is coming to fruition now in early 25. I think Jennifer will explain more about that. And then we cleaned, replaced exterior lighting cans, bulbs around the building. So this team has accomplished so much since it began several years ago. I think we just should give them a big hand. And now I'd like to call up Jennifer Flynn. She is a board member and also part of the expansion team. She's done some work on some safety for us, and will share that and then tell us about our trees here at Unity North.
While the expansion team is largely focused on expansion, we also want to minimize unnecessary contraction. So welcome to our first annual safety refresher. And these are some things I want everyone to know. We have an AED. It's over by Brandy's office. We have a first aid kit. It's on the far wall in the social hall. We have 2 fire extinguishers. One is by Brandy's office by the AED. The other is in the social hall by the first aid kit. Bill's realizing I forgot one of my props. Thank you, Bill. So that's what's been here for a long time, but we've added some new things this year. Thanks. Bill's going to do his best flight attendant, but first, the fire blanket. So just before we had all of our wonderful holiday ceremonies with flash paper and large numbers of candles, we added a fire blanket to the lectern, and there's also one in the kitchen. This, in Bill's hand, hangs on the wall in the social hall by the first aid kit and the fire extinguisher. It has a quick read code on the front for details about how to use it. It's an anti-choking device. Why don't you go ahead and open that up, Bill? It has 2 masks. So a thing with the Heimlich maneuver, it's always your first choice when, well, maybe not always. It's generally your first choice if someone is choking. But sometimes it just doesn't work. Or in some cases, for example, if someone is pregnant, this is a better option. Let's not try to do the Heimlich maneuver on someone who is pregnant. So this is our latest safety feature. We've had it not even a month. Thank you, Bill. Bill hung that on the wall with me recently. And now on a, oh, wait. I forgot something. Because in our community, and I was intentional about not putting this on the slide, we have another safety feature really every week here. And I wanted us to say it together. But first, who can guess what safety feature I'm thinking of?
Who knows CPR?
Oh, thank you, Christine. That's another thing. I was curious, who's competent in CPR? All right, I see 4 people who know modern day CPR. And also, how about the AED? Who feels confident in how, okay, good, about people are confident in AED use. That's a pretty high percentage. There are instructions in the AED, and they're pretty easy instructions. The other thing is healers. So let's say that one together. Healers. We have healers. Now next slide, and a completely different topic. We are blessed to have a lovely and diverse canopy of trees. There is our Google bird's eye view. I reviewed our tree inventory, and we have 14 species of trees and shrubs from 10 different plant families. One is now an endangered species, that's our green ash, and we do what needs to be done to keep it alive. It's a nice mature one. Bur oaks are another noteworthy tree here on our landscape. They're my favorite, and for those of you who are not biologists, they're what's called a keystone species, which means they have really an outsized impact on the landscape. There are so many other creatures, fungi that depend on oaks that that's what makes oaks a keystone species. And then there's one naughty item, the buckthorn. Next slide. So we've identified some issues. There are some structural problems here, there, and everywhere, and dead and broken branches. And some of the canopies are a little low for mowing. And as one of the volunteer groundskeepers here, I don't like to mow like that. Not so much. So there's some trimming to be done. As you can see in the pictures on structural problems, the box elder are the poster child of structural problems. And I note that it's complicated because there's a property line, and it's a tangle of the box elders on two sides of a property line. And I want to give a big shout out to Chris Italiano and Howard Grinzel. They wrote a beautiful letter to communicate with the property managers at the townhomes next door, because it's been slow going, but they wrote a letter that at least got their attention, and the communication is happening. It's taken a lot of patience, but it's coming along. Chris is nodding and smiling. I think he knows more than I know.
Yeah,
We'll have more next year.
let him tell the funny part about it.
Oh, Chris is going to tell the funny part about it.
Yeah, I can share a little bit. So, yeah, I got a name from the property management company, and it turns out that their local representative was was on the Family Promise Board with me. So we know each other. And, yeah, so her name is Uma. We had a nice phone conversation, and they're very agreeable to have the trees fixed, and things are progressing quite nicely. Yeah.
So we have some bids, and our neighbors have some bids, and we're working on it, and it's in process. And that's where we're at. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. All right. So as you can see, a lot's been done. This is a fraction of what this team has accomplished over the last few years. And the expansion team meets about once a month, generally on Tuesdays, usually every other month in person and alternate months on Zoom. So if you have interest in joining this Get It Done team, please let us know or contact Moira, our board president. And then these are our Sunday service producers. As you all know, every Sunday you see them in the back helping to keep our technology, our PowerPoint going, and our sound. And so let's give them a big hand. They're fantastic. And we're always looking for a little extra help for them, just to give them more breaks. So, if you're inclined to assist with the audio part of the service and/or the video, the PowerPoint, please let us know. So I did not do slides for each group I'm going to mention, so forgive me in advance. Most of you know each other, so it didn't seem necessary. But Sundays this past year included our incredible worship assistants, same ones, Nola Bean, Howard Gonzell, Wendy Erickson. And then Finn Robertson, our long-distance worship assistant, stepped in all the way from Sebastopol when Sadie Grenzel left. She was deployed early in the year. We're happy to say, as many of you know, Sadie's returned home safely in December after 10 months overseas, so we're grateful. And we've had support from our prayer chaplains, and they've continued to pray with us by phone or Zoom every Sunday. They're Wendy Erickson, Nancy Helvig, Rebecca Thompson from Redondo Beach, California. Susan Marie Lawler stepped down from that position mid-year. So thank you to them. And if anyone is interested in becoming a prayer chaplain, we're always open and available to talk with you about that with me or with Wendy. I'm sorry, I forgot to put John Lippert on here. John Lippert is the other one. Yeah, he's been around a long time, and he stepped back in to help in the as a prayer chaplain. I'm grateful Darlinda Alexander's continued as our excellent usher coordinator, training and overseeing a great team of ushers who are appreciated. Thank you, Darlinda. Yeah. Also, Diana Ramser, who is not here right now, although her other half is. Diana's continued to oversee coordinating Sunday snacks, thanks to everyone setting up coffee too and bringing weekly treats. It's also been great working with our Board of Trustees. It's really been a wonderful board to work with. Wonderful, dedicated group of people. Moira, our board president, and I have worked together regularly on the board agenda and and other projects, and we have a very harmonious relationship. Also, through this time of hybrid church, it's been essential to have a great website, and we can thank Tracy Roloff for continuing to spend a lot of time and energy on our website. Thank you. And also for the upcoming events you do as well, Tracy, monthly, and the newsletter as well, which Darlinda first prepares. So we appreciate the two of you in that. And yeah, we're going to have a lot of clapping. And thanks to Charlotte Desai, who lives in Minneapolis but continues to support us with her beautiful flyers and graphic art online, and we are grateful. She's going to start trying to come back a little more often, which will be great to see her in person now and then. And then thank you to Rhonda, our adult ed coordinator and licensed Unity teacher. She and I work closely together, and our visions align very well. She's our main teacher besides me, and because she's licensed through Unity, she can teach classes for credit also. Should anyone want to become a licensed teacher or a Unity minister, just let her know. She also coordinates other guest teachers for us, so thank you, Rhonda, for adding your efforts and creative ideas to this area of the ministry. And as you can see, some of the classes from this past year, slide. Let's see, I did Powerful Prayer, Dynamic Healing, Archangel Michael, Developing Your Intuition, next. And I taught a series on Unity and Creation Spirituality, next. Rhonda and I did a series and class together called Activate Your Prosperity. And next, Rhonda taught a book series on Sacred Earth, Sacred Soul. And the next slide, our guest teachers were Sean Payton, PhD, teaching diversity, equity, and inclusion, and also Rebecca Thompson. She taught Myers-Briggs type indicator, step number 2. So we're grateful. Then the men's group, next. So I just wrote here, Nola Bean has led our men's group on Saturday for the past year. We appreciate him for making that group possible, and also those men who have attended. Since the group needs some new energy and commitment, Nola is stepping back to reevaluate and see if there would be greater interest in a group that meets less often, maybe quarterly, maybe a couple times a year, something special. So we're kind of talking about that. So I just want to thank Noel for stepping up and leading this group for this whole year. You are a blessing. And then these are just other events. You can see them. I won't read through them all, but they're just other events that we had through the year. And then next, these are our musicians. They're pretty much the same. We have Braden at the top left. He's harder to get now. He has other projects he's involved in, so we won't be seeing him for a time. And we have Amy and Adams at the top, and Bill Mann on the right. Claire Vanderkramert, of course. I'm going to skip over. We have the Judy Vinar, and then with Nancy Helvig. And then our new guy is David Singley. He's on the road a lot, but he'll return again next week for his third visit with us. So those are our great musicians. And next. And then, of course, all of the above mentioned in the report today would not be possible without a fabulous staff. Fortunately, we've had the same staff for the last 3.5 years. Larry Peterson, Brandy McLaughlin, and Kathleen Bailey. And then I wrote down here Sarah McCullough. We forget to mention her sometimes. She's our cleaner. Darlinda, do you know how many years she's been doing that? I didn't call her and ask. I forgot to, but many, many years of cleaning.
I was still the office person.
Yeah, she was still, so many years of doing cleaning here, so I think it's, I didn't have her picture, but it's nice to acknowledge here. She usually comes in on a Thursday or Friday night, depends. It kind of changes a little bit, but she's always here for us, so it's good to be aware of her. Larry is a great help behind the scenes as facility manager. Prior to that, he was helping Darlinda behind the scenes with the facility when she was office and facility manager too. So he's been around a long time and he's just perfect for the position. He's just very helpful. Well, just I find great comfort in having Larry here. And Brandy, as you know, she couldn't be here today. Her grandchildren have foot and mouth disease, and she had to tend them. So she was in that incubation period. She didn't want to give anybody any illness. So it was unfortunate she wanted to be here. But as you know, she's multi-talented and amazing. She's our wonderful administrative assistant. She does the technical part of Adult Ed. She handles our class registrations on Acuity, acts as staff at some of our virtual classes, helps to market through email and on Facebook for us, helps co-produce Sunday services, running PowerPoint, and she's our Wonder Woman. She shines a bright light where she goes. She's funny and sunny and joy to work with. And I want to honor Kathleen Bailey for her incredible strength and persistence, and especially flexibility as Youth and Family Ministry Director and Director for Outreach. She's been in the Youth and Family role for 8 years and Outreach co-chair for 15 plus years and Director since COVID. So you're amazing, Kathleen. We really appreciate you. And we want to thank Moira and all those who assist with Youth and Family. Jennifer, Wendy, Outreach, especially Mary and Donna, and any others I've missed, please forgive me, but big hand to Outreach. All right, next. This is our affirmation from all last year. We took it away just to freshen up a little bit. We've been having more monthly ones, but this one's centered in prayerful intention. We give thanks for an overflowing abundance of spiritual awakening, prosperity, new members, and children for Unity North Spiritual Center. I still think it's a great affirmation. We can bring it back, but we did want to, after a while they become rote, so you want to just take it away for a while and bring it back, and then it's new again. But I feel like we have come a long way since COVID, and I would say we've gotten back about 60% of our attendance since we returned to our facility with Zoom services as well. And this appears to be true in other Unity churches in the area and throughout our country, and not just Unity. So we're grateful to not only have survived, but thrived. And a few more things I just want to add. A few more things I've been up to this past year. I think that I invited Candy Tomlinson to become a virtual volunteer. to write the articles that show up at the end of the newsletter, or they also show up on the website. And that's the column called Knowing Our Congregation. So far she's interviewed and written to about 3 congregants, 2 long distance, Finn Robertson and Rebecca Thompson, and then Charlotte Desai, who's both on Zoom and local. And there are more articles to come this year. Also, some of you do not know that I meet and have met with the local Unity ministers in Minnesota, the ministers and spiritual leaders, every month at a lunch meeting in Minneapolis. Except during COVID, we didn't meet. But there have been 5 to 8 of us generally present, and this year we changed it to 2 groups, one for ministers who have churches, and we're meeting now every other month, and the other to all ministers, including those with and without churches, those who are retired or just guest speaking. We meet quarterly. So we have a great relationship. We share helpful information with each other. I'm glad personally for that ministerial support from others as well. And I'm glad to be here at Unity North with all of you. It's my honor and my joy to serve as your minister and to get to know each of you better every year. I don't know whether you know, because I was kind of low-key about it, but December 1st was my 5th anniversary with you. And one party I'm thinking of hosting this year is my 5 years here and my 35 years in the ministry. I figured it's a way I can get a lot of presents. Just joking. I am just joking. My introverted self resists, but I think it's really one of those anniversaries I should acknowledge, not just for myself, but for all of you, and also for friends and family who have supported me through many years. So you are an incredible Unity congregation, spiritual, very committed, positive, and loving. And I'm grateful to be here at this amazing time in the history of Unity North and the Unity movement. And now we can add in the history of our country too. Despite the challenges we're facing, I continue to be filled with optimism and faith for the future, because I know this community will continue to support each other and this ministry, knowing how important it is. We had a really abundant year, and I want to say I've been in other churches where maybe 1 or 2 people kind of carry the ball for the whole group. This church, it's really spread out. There is so much commitment, and it's fabulous to see. So, I just feel that unity is even more essential in these times. And so I trust Spirit is guiding and directing us in all that we do going forward. So thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. And now I would like to call up my mother, or Kathleen Bailey, to give the Youth and Family Ministry report.
Hello. For the 2024 school year, YOU, YES, Uniteens, and Nursery was offered every Sunday. Summer Sunday School for YES and Uniteens was offered every weekend, led by both myself and Moira. In the fall, Jennifer Flynn and Julie Gardner joined the team supporting the kids on a monthly basis. Also in the fall, Julie Hollingsworth and Rachel Smith and Tracy Roloff joined our nursery team. Throughout the year, we had 12 children participate in YES, YOU, and Uniteen services, and 3 in the nursery. YOU Uniteens have hosted 2 fundraisers, a bake sale and ice cream social, both very successful. And we're great, and the monies raised were to assist the costs of the youth attending the Great Lakes regional retreats that are offered twice a year. We appreciate your continued support.
And now the outreach.
Outreach. Family Family table. We kicked off our 2024 year by serving 83 meals of ham, slices, and scalloped potatoes in January. We continued offering our meals through October. We served over 900 meals via drive-through in these 10 months. February was our lowest count of 74 meals, and July and October tied with over 110 meals being served. October, for those of you who are not familiar, in October we provide a full Thanksgiving meal to our guests, and in July it's hamburgers and hot dogs. We average about 10 volunteers a month, which is one more over last year. It's cool. Do I go on to family?
Yep.
Okay, just keep going. Family Promise. We continue to support the hospitality rotation of 5 times a year. As a result of the expansion of programs offered by Family Promise, the supplies we provided varied from cleaning supplies, kid-focused items, and laundry supplies, along with $25, $35 gas cards for the families. Throughout the year, we supported anywhere from 1 to 5 families in each of these rotations. As the advocate to Family Promise, I attend monthly meetings and hosted an advocate meeting at Unity North. An advocate is a representative from over 16 different congregations that support Family Promise. We all used to be a part of the whole hospitality group that used to house the families in our buildings. Now we provide our hospitality baskets to them. I, along with Rhonda Italiano, also hosted 3 Breaking Barriers sessions in which a dinner and cooking classes were provided for the families in the program. As a budget mentor for Family Promise, I support 3 families throughout the year working on creating a budget so that they can maintain their housing. Hands of Kindness. In 2024, our community provided meals to members within our own community, budgeting support for individuals both within our community and greater community, drove community members to and from important appointments. All of this totaled over 250 hours of support. 24 hours per month is an average. It's a lot of volunteering. We continue to support the community by providing gas and food gift cards along with prepackaged food items from our food shop. Adopt a Family. In December, we supported multiple families through Alexandra House. By December 8th, multiple food baskets and gifts were delivered by Mary Sorensen. And Donna. I didn't see her in the car, but okay. And Teddy Bear Blessing, we held 1 blessing this year, and the stuffed animals went to various fire stations and Alexandra House.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Next slide. So unfortunately, our treasurer, Miss Cindy Huberty, is on a cruise.
Yep.
So our bookkeeper, Chris, is here to report.
I would play the role of Cindy today.
But she has better weather.
She has much better weather, yeah. Don't.
We gave her a hard time about her planning of this.
I think it was all, planned
Yeah.
intentionally, but anyway. Hi, everybody. So, I will be sharing with you some financial results. I can tell you that the financial health of Unity North is quite strong. We finished out 2024 in really, really good shape. First, we're going to do a backwards look, looking at how we performed in 2024 relative to 2023. So, we have a total increase of almost $31,000 in our revenue, which is a huge increase thanks to all of your prosperity and abundance. Really, really amazing. $36,000 just alone in additional tithing and donations throughout the last year.
Wow.
Yeah, really amazing. So then looking at expenses, expenses from 2023 to 2024 did increase by $10,000. Highlighted in blue are some of the expense categories that had the largest increases, such as building maintenance, insurance, the ministries, like that then covers music ministry, outreach ministry, prayer ministry. So all of the things that have been shared today, all the things that we do are all in that ministries bucket. And then also operating expenses and our own tithing and love offerings and donations. So just as many of you tithe to the church tithes to other organizations. 10% of revenue goes out, so as our revenue grows, so does what we donate to other organizations. So we continue to share our prosperity in the community, which is just fantastic. Next slide. So right, just as a total then, our net revenue, so that's our expenses, our revenue versus our expenses in 2024 was $13,653. That's coming away from a deficit in 2023, so really a huge change in 1 year, and I really want to thank all of you for your contributions to make all that happen. Really, really excellent result. Looking at how that looks then in our various accounts. Right, so yeah, checking account increased by, so this is at end of year, checking account increased by $2,000, savings account increased by almost $9,000, and our mortgage balance decreased by $16,000. That savings increase is also great. We did have to dip into savings a little bit in 2023, and we were able to replace that and more in 2024. So really, really a nice result. So then looking forward, we do have a balanced budget for 2025. It's yeah, second year of having a balanced budget. It takes some work at the time with Kathy and Cindy. And our total budget for 2025 for expenses is $181,000. That is an increase of $15,000 over 2024. And again, I've highlighted where some of that increase is coming from. Building maintenance, we budgeted a little bit more. Guest speakers and, where is it? Ministries, I think music is in ministries, right, Kathy? Yeah.
Yeah.
So guest speakers and music ministry, also we budgeted an increase there for additional cost for our guest speakers and those musicians. Insurance continues to go up annually. Grateful that we were able to give a salary increase to our staff this year. So Kathy, Brandy, Larry, and Kathleen, yeah, we were able to give them a salary increase this year to keep up with the cost of living increases. Taxes then also go up, property taxes and payroll taxes, and utilities go up. Last year, utilities were under budget, but we're going to continue to budget to ensure that we can cover those expected utilities. And then finally, yeah, again, the donations that we give, as our revenue goes up, so does our donations to our local community. So that's what makes up that $15,000 increase. Next slide. So looking at the budget then, last year our total revenue, $179,618. To cover our expenses this year, we would need $181,672, which is an increase of only $2,000. So although our budgeted expenses went up because of that surplus last year, we covered them easily and had that surplus. So to balance the budget, we need $181,672. But I'm confident that we can exceed that. That additional revenue, if you break that down per month or per week, it's really $40 a week. $170 a month from the community. So I'm really confident that all of us can achieve that and meet that budget goal. So, questions, comments?
I have a question.
Or can we do that? Is that now? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
right now.
Did I hear?
Oh, let's grab the microphone. Hang on.
Thank you. Did I hear?
Oh, it's not on.
Did it turn?
Can you check the sound thing? Hang on, Rhonda.
I'm muted.
Just make sure everybody remote can hear you. Go ahead.
Check.
There we go. Okay.
Did I hear you say, Reverend Kathy, that we have 8 years left on our mortgage?
Our mortgage matures in,
Might be less now.
It-
It was in the minutes, 8 years. What is it now?
our mortgage matures on March 3rd, 2032. So our last payment would be March of 2032. So that is, what is that?
7 years.
7
Right.
years and a month. 2 weeks. 7 years.
Seven,
and 2
7 years
weeks.
in a month, or 6 years in a month? Or 8? Or, yeah, 7 years in a month, yes.
And how much is our mortgage monthly?
Mortgage monthly is $2,133.76.
Nice. Something to look forward to. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I just wanted to confirm that date.
Yeah. And we continue to, I mean, as with any mortgage, we continue to pay off more and more of that principal every year. The payment stays the same, but our interest expense goes down, and our amount that we're paying towards principal goes up. So, yeah, we're getting closer and closer to that goal every month.
I have a question. The fundraiser amount from 2023 to 2024 is a fairly significant difference,
Yeah.
like $17,000 or something. What did we do for fundraising in 23 that we didn't do in 24?
There was the special fundraiser in, for the parking lot for the plowing.
In 23?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were no special fundraisers in 2024.
Okay.
We also got a special gift in '24.
So does that,
That's not in fundraising.
Just
Right,
fundraising,
that was
yeah.
not in fundraising.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Anybody else? It's a lot of numbers.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay, you're welcome.
So can I get a motion to accept the financial report?
So moved.
Rhonda
And seconded.
Kathleen.
All in favor? Opposed? And the motion was carried.
That was Rhonda and Kathleen.
Rhonda and
Just-
Kathleen,
okay.
yes.
Oh,
All right, talking about elections now. We have one board member leaving this year, but no replacement at this time. So we'll run with 5 members for now, which is legal according to our bylaws. Erin Casper Frett is leaving, and we are grateful for her service. I myself am especially grateful for her. When work has called, I've had to go in, and she's had to back me up at the meeting. Sometimes I zoom in my car, parked. So Erin, can I have you come up here? We'd like to give you a little card and our unity blessing. So together, Erin, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you,
and we behold the Christ in you. Thank you, Erin.
In order to select board members, previously a nominating team was created. The nominating team includes the minister, 1 board member other than the president, and 2 congregants elected at the annual meeting the prior year. The 2 elected in the nominating team previously were Darlinda Alexander and Martha Burkhart. We want to thank Darlinda Alexander and Martha Burkhart for your service this year. Thank you to the both of you. I also want to thank Christine Grinzel as a board member serving as a liaison. We now need to select 2 new nominating team members for this next year. The job doesn't actually start until November when the team comes together. It involves a meeting, and then when the candidates are found, several more meetings to interview them. It's not too time-consuming. So now I need to hear a motion for 1 new nominating team member.
I nominate Mary Sorensen.
Darlinda nominates Mary Sorensen.
It's Is Mary willing?
Is Mary willing?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Sure. Maybe.
Yeah.
Can I also get a motion to nominate another team member? Christine?
I nominate Nancy Helbig if she would, hopefully. I'd be happy to.
Thank you. If you agree that Mary Sorensen and Nancy Helvig should be our new nominating team members, raise your hand. Large majority, so motion carries. Thank you to Mary and Nancy for our new team members. All right, and Kathy will take it away.
Where are we? We go to the next. Okay. Okay, now we had a video last year. This one isn't quite as long. It's only about 7 minutes. This is Jim Blake, the CEO of Unity World Headquarters, and this is really great information, so definitely worth watching, and helps us kind of feel part of a bigger movement too.
Greetings, friends. I'm Jim Blake, the CEO at Unity World Headquarters. It's always my pleasure to update you on what's been happening at UWH over the last year, and it's a good sign when I have almost too much to pack into one video. The latest and possibly greatest news is that as of September, we are returning to 24-hour coverage on the silent Unity telephone prayer lines. During the pandemic, we had to cut back the overnight shift due to limited staff and remote capabilities at the time. People could still call and hear a recorded prayer message, and they could still submit prayer requests online that were answered. Our round-the-clock prayer vigil also continued. Although it's an expensive endeavor to staff the phones between midnight and 6 a.m., it's the wee hours when people seem to need the connection of real-time prayer support the most. So the phones at Silent Unity will be answered all night long going forward. As a reminder, you are always welcome to join Silent Unity in prayer through the online prayer vigil. In addition to the Prayer Vigil Chapel on campus, this virtual site is where our remote prayer associates take turns praying continuously throughout the day and night for all the prayer requests that have been received. This year was the 100th anniversary of Daily Word, and we have celebrated all year long. We focused the 2024 calendar on the history of Daily Word. We honored Daily Word at Fillmore Festival in August, and we published a commemorative book with more than 200 messages from the past century. It will be a powerful addition to your library long after the anniversary year. But the big publishing news this year had to do with Unity Magazine. We acquired Spirituality and Health and blended the two magazines into a new version called Spirituality and Health, a Unity publication. It still has articles about spirituality with more emphasis on health and science. The magazine came with a website, email newsletters, and a robust advertising program that we are continuing. Sign up for the SNH newsletter and also take a look at the SNH website when you get a chance. It has fascinating articles and we'll be adding more, especially on interfaith topics. While we're talking about publishing, we have 2 new books coming out this fall. These were the winners of the Unity Books Contest last year. Headphones and Heartbreaks is written by 2 millennial women who used music and spiritual practice to recover from bad breakups. There's a playlist with all the songs that got them through. Then, Reverend David McClure in Spokane has written a book about how he and his wife Donna used Myrtle Fillmore's healing principles in their cancer journeys. You often tell us how much you enjoy using booklets in your ministries. We published another 6 new booklets this year. There's one more coming in November about the spiritual wisdom we learn from our pets. We also created a booklet for Black History Month this year called From Black Church to New Thought. Ministers tell us how they're combining their Black church traditions with New Thought teachings, and it has a playlist of the gospel music they love. Our product developer continues to come up with great ideas to put traditional Unity teachings in new packages. Have you tried the affirmation generator? You flip the pages to pick something to release and an affirmation to replace it, and nearly all of them work together. Also, James Dillett Freeman's Blessing for a Marriage is now a wall hanging. And this one I am super excited about. We have our own Unity Lift the Flap Advent Calendar for the coming holiday season. Well, that's it for prayer and publishing. The third pillar of our mission at UWH is Unity Village, and it's been busier than ever. We welcomed Unity and New Thought audiences to the Village this year with over 25 mission-based events and retreats. They included the UWM Convention, the People of African Descent New Thought Group, the Fillmore Festival, and several Come Home to Unity retreats. Those were just the ones Unity sponsored. In addition, this year, we'll be managing nearly 300 events ranging from retreats, to weddings, to memorial services, to corporate trainings, and even social events, like birthdays and baby showers. People are coming to the Village for everything. Soon, we will also be able to offer space in the R.D. Goppert Event Center. We have refurbished the 50-year-old Activity Center to provide a large venue, not only for Unity events, but for the community. We're putting a small outdoor lift just outside the event center to carry those differently abled up to the courtyard and fountains. We celebrated the first anniversary of the beautiful new Labyrinth with a 70-person Labyrinth retreat on World Labyrinth Day. We also built and installed a beautiful rainbow bridge near the trailhead where people can come to honor their pets. And we are starting to refurbish one of the historic cottages to be named in honor of the Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman. It's right next to the other Airbnbs we've already opened. Another way Unity continues to grow is in the digital realm. We have a new system called Virtuous. It allows us to easily contact donors, subscribers, and anyone in our database to keep them feeling connected to Unity. For example, a new subscriber to Spirituality and Health might get a series of emails introducing them to other facets of Unity, like the booklets or Daily Word or even Silent Unity. We've been doing this already, but the new system makes it a breeze to set this up or other automated series of emails. That way, no matter which doorway someone comes through Unity, we can help them understand more about who we are, what we offer, and it's customized to their interests. We are also making a major investment in digitizing our archives. A company called History IT is going piece by piece through thousands of letters, talks, videos, and tapes to preserve them for the future, no matter how technology changes. The first parts of this digital museum went live this year with the Myrtle Fillmore Collection and part of the Eric Butterworth Collection. The Charles Fillmore Collection will be coming later this fall. This will make the full Unity archives available online to the public and to scholars and students from all over the world. We will continue to have our physical archives too, and this is something we've talked about for years. Unity Village is now becoming a hub for all the New Thought archives. The Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation leased space on campus and moved here from Colorado over the summer. We are also now in talks with INTA to move their Addington Archives collection here as well. There's always something fun happening at UWH. It's been an exciting year with some major projects coming to fruition and others just getting underway. We couldn't do it without your support and prayers. And I hope that what we are doing at headquarters in turn supports you and your work in your ministries. As always, thank you for all you do to make a difference in the world with these powerful teachings. May peace and blessings be upon you, your ministries, and your communities. Namaste.
So I really like his videos. I think he does a great job of giving us some insights into what's going on in Greater Movement. And we just have one last thing, and that, next slide, please. Oh, was there one other slide? Oh, yeah. There wasn't. Oh, there's one more.
Greetings, friends. I'm Jim Blake.
I don't know if we have it on a slide or not. Okay. There we go. So, yeah, we're wrapping up now. So, but these were our objectives from last year, and we've carried them on. And the greater prosperity awareness, just some of the things that we've done we activated, we did fundraisers, we activated did an Activate Your Prosperity series in class. We showed the film One Field. We still have a lot more to do. We want to post prosperity quotes. We want to have testimonials. We want a tithing booklet. We want more opportunities for youth in the service. Secondly, the social media one, we attempted a marketing team, but it didn't work out yet. So we're still going forward with that intention at some point. Brandy's doing our posting on Facebook and Instagram. Nancy did it previously some. And then newsletter, website, article, and getting to know our community we did. Still to do, we need to meet again and determine our next steps. This is an area we will be working on more this year. The third, greater prayer and healing experiences. We did a prayer and healing class. We did personal prayer requests. We brought the prayer box to the front again. We started healing facilitators after service. We held prayer and healing circle in the fall, and we're having another one in March. We still need another prayer chaplain. We're going to some point I'm going to do a women's workshop, and there will be more to follow from that, hopefully. And then the last one, DEI, increased diversity, equity, inclusion. What we did, we had a workshop with Sean Payton, who Rhonda knew from school, and then to-do. So I want to talk about the to-do on this. There's more to do. We want to read general neutral pronoun books. We want highlighting equality in classes. We want to do some documentaries, look at our history, do some field trips, activities for retirees, game groups, puzzle groups. We want the Uniteens and YRUers to organize something and invite congregants. So there's a lot more. But something has come up in regards to DEI, increased diversity, equity, inclusion. So the name has become controversial politically. And so I had talked to a minister friend in California who mentioned that they were changing it. And I thought she meant her church when I talked to her. And she said they were changing it from DEI to, to embrace differences. And first she said celebrating differences, but it was embrace differences. And so I talked to the board about it. They're changing it because they don't want to be a target right now politically about it. It's become a big deal throughout the country now. And so so the board and I talked about it and decided we all should have a conversation about it. But in the meantime, yesterday, I talked to her again and found out it wasn't her church. It was actually Unity Worldwide Headquarters who's making that change. And they're making the change. They were aware of it coming last year. And they're making the change because Trump is threatening nonprofits and churches now and going after their 501c3s, our tax exemptions. And we cannot lose that. You lose a tax exemption, then you're not in business anymore in the church arena. And so we don't want to mess with that. So what we decided, or Moira and I talked about last night, because the whole board hadn't heard this part of it until just now. But what we talked about, what I said at the board meeting, and still feel even more after hearing that, is that you pick your battles. And I think the name DEI, unfortunately, it has been somewhat poisoned. And it's pretty hard to get that back. But so the idea is just to change the name and the title, but not to change anything we do. We're not changing any of our policies, our beliefs about it, or what we want to do, and reaching out in the same way in terms of it being an objective. But we just wanted to run that by you and see if you're all okay with that. And so I think the embracing differences kind of says it in a different way. Any comments, questions? Yeah.
Trying to pull my thoughts together. This was not something I was expecting. I know that DEI has been all over the place, but I did not know that churches had become a target. So I'm sort of putting my ideas out there before they're fully formed. But part of me wants to rebel and say, who cares what they're doing? This is who we are, and they can deal. And yet, if our status as a church is threatened, then this seems like a small concession. So as long as the guts of what we do, the core of the programming that we offer and the services that we provide does not change, I could live with embracing differences versus DEI. But part of me feels like the minute we let go of DEI, that's just the beginning, and then there becomes a flood of other things that we have to let go of. So that's where I'm at the moment. This is all, as I said, very fresh, so.
Thank you.
Nancy.
So my, it's not on, okay, I'll fix that. Alrighty. So my daughter's works in marketing, and one of her clients is Target Corp. And they have just been recently under attack. They have made the decision to not drop DEI, but to drop the labeling. Unfortunately, the social media ended up taking hold of it before they had changed their language, because corporations are now being fined for this as well. So before you jump on the bandwagon of vilifying a corporation, take some time to find out if they are working on changing their language to still incorporate DEI practices. And so I think that it's not a bad thing, instead of just jumping on DEI, to take some intention and some thought into our spiritual center and saying, what is it that we want? And so that it's really more intentional. I completely understand what you're saying, Rhonda, but it's an opportunity for us to be really more clear and intentional. And then just take that knowledge of what's happening and spread it out into the wider community, and find out what corporations are really just trying to figure out how to survive this whole thing. So that's
Good point.
my information for that.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Can I make a comment?
Oh, Candy.
Yeah, thank you. They gave me the opportunity to unmute. I know I can't vote or anything, but I just wanted to throw this out there. I don't like the term DEI in the first place. I never knew what it meant until it suddenly became a big thing and I had to look it up. And so I like the term embracing differences or embrace differences, because to me, that includes everything, including illnesses, which sometimes we don't see. There's a lot of hidden disability, and that includes cancer and diabetes and whatever. So I really like that term, embracing differences, but I just wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? So I hear both of you too. Oh, Mary.
Well, Christine and I were talking back here,
Hold on.
and we're not sure about. Well, let me here.
Okay.
We'll let Christine do it.
So we were, I just, as a carryover from our board meeting, when we talked about this, differences was a little bit of a touchy word. And does it mean the same thing to say individuals, celebrating individuals?
Differences is much more inclusive than individuals. Differences is difference for everything, whether it's you name it.
Yeah, is
It's very inclusive.
that a comfortable term? Like, I know
It
that
may,
we were.
it may be a button for some. I mean, there's always buttons in this whole thing, but I think it's something that says what it really is in a broad way.
Okay.
That's the sense
Okay.
of it. But
I just wanted to follow through with what we had talked about
Yeah.
earlier as differences being touchy,
yeah,
but
it was originally celebrating, but we
Yeah.
were talking. We like the word embrace better because we're not always celebrating differences. We're embracing, and embracing is more supportive. We felt like than celebrating.
I also want to acknowledge, I'm remembering my time becoming a licensed teacher, all of the classes I had to take, and Unity loves a rebel. We will cheer a rebel on all the time. So I liked the fact that you, Reverend Kathy, pointed out that we need to pick our battles here. We cannot fight everything. And if we've got a rough ride in for the next 4 years, I think that this change makes sense.
Thank you. I agree with that. I think it does. I wanted to hear what you had to say, but I think we're all rebels. I mean, you wouldn't be in unity if you weren't a free spirit, and the idea of having our freedom taken away is just too much to even absorb. But yeah. But I'm not. I'd rather not fight about the name. I'd rather, if it comes to it, I'm going to fight about the content. Yes. But hopefully we won't have to do that. Yeah. So anyway, we wanted you to know what's going on with that, and if you start seeing the change in the wording, that's what that is, and we still believe the same and intend to express the same attitudes about diversity, equity, and inclusion. So thank you. Appreciate that. Okay.
Anybody else? No? Oh. Yes.
All the wording kind of seems a little off. I mean, I've been discriminated against even fitting into the categories of differences. I've been straight up told, oh, well, it doesn't include you, when all of it does describe me. And I've felt like an outsider in a lot of places, even with the differences, because they're like, oh yeah, we embrace you because you're different. But it's like, okay, we're all people. And as America's going to, we're looking at the native lands and seeing, and most of the native language says we the people. And with the wording, maybe just embracing people in general. Not embracing difference, just embracing people as a whole instead of separating us all. I don't know. That's just a thought that came to my head. It goes with the indigenous and everything else.
Thank you.
All right. I want to thank all of you who came today, especially the ones online. Thank you. Any last minute questions from today's meeting before we adjourn? No. All right.
We want to thank Christine for the potato bar. She already walked out, but be sure to.
No, I can smell it. I'm like, are we done here? Nobody else is allowed to ask
So
any
we can,
questions.
let's all go eat, and be sure to thank her for the potato bar.
So, those of you that are staying for lunch, there's a potato bar in the social hall Christine has prepared. Everyone else in the room, thank you to the ones online. Before we adjourn, let's say a prayer.
Do we need a motion?
Can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting, please? Kathleen first, Rhonda seconded.
Okay. So we just give thanks for a great meeting. We just can feel the bond of love in this community, and we're grateful for it. And we just, the other thing is that we're grateful for is food. So we're ready, and we give thanks for a great meeting and a great meal and a great year. And so it is. Amen.